Okay, so today in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use a custom form that you have created yourself and integrate that with the sign up and login logic of Clerk. So let's get started. So let me just first show you. Okay, we have this form. We have a username, email, and password field. And this is an animated form. I've already made a tutorial on how to make an animated form like this, but if you click this, you'll see that this is an animated custom form that we have, and when you work on websites you will have something similar to this, or just a simple form but like a custom coded form. So first I'm going to show you how to get all the sign up field values and then send them to Clerk and have your user added into your Clerk dashboard. So if I go to my Clerk dashboard right now, right, I have this test email account that I ended up using. So this, I'm gonna delete this one, okay, and I'm gonna show you that when I delete this, you'll see that this user is now gone. Okay, so I'm also gonna show you how I made this form, okay, like a quick explanation so that you understand what we're working with, and you can create your own custom form. You don't have to make mine. Just to show you that first we're creating a use state, okay, and we need these values for the sign up and these for the login, okay, and we're gonna use a handle sign up field change function. Okay, this will get the event, target the name and the value, and then set the sign up fields according to the name and the value. Okay, and this is gonna be triggered on change. Okay, so it's the same for the login one. Okay, and in the, I'll show you with the login one. This is the login input field. Okay, so the name is identifier, which is the same as this field. Okay, and on change it's going to get triggered, this function will change the value and the name inside of the login fields state, and this will get the previous fields, and this will change the field according to the name and the value passed to it. Okay, so this is how the logic is working. And then when we are going to submit the form, we're going to trigger an on submit function when the form is submitted, and this is going to have all of the logic to log in the user and all of the logic to sign up the user. Okay, so this is what we're working with. Okay, so this is what we're working with, and you can create your own custom form. I'm just showing you how we've set everything up here with this one. Okay, so now to start adding the logic so that we can submit the data from this form to Clerk. Okay, so when I'm going to submit this form, right, we're going to be using a hook called, let me just import that actually up here. Okay, I'm gonna say constant, structure it, and use sign up. Okay, and we're gonna be working on the sign up form first. So this is what you need, and in this you need these three. Okay, is loaded, sign up, set active. Okay, so what do all three of these do is this one checks if Clerk has been loaded or not. Okay, so that's all this does. When Clerk is loaded, then this will turn true. Okay, and this is what handles our sign up logic. It takes in the data that we end up submitting to it. That is these three fields right here. Okay, this is going to take in these three fields and then set active after we have confirmed everything, like gotten the code in our email and submitted that code and everything is verified for our user. Then this will be used to log in the user. Okay, that's what this is going to do. So first what we're gonna do is here I'm gonna add if turn null. Okay, so if is loaded is false, right? If Clerk is not loaded, return null. That's it. That's all we're doing with this one. Okay, and you can shorten this if you want. You can just do like this. Okay, you can even do this. When Clerk is loaded, then this will run. If it is not loaded, then just return nothing. That's what we're doing with this, using this. Okay, now we're gonna work on the handle sign up submit. Okay, so when the form is submitted, right, what are we going to do with that? Actually, you know what, wait a minute, we need two more things. I should add them here. And one is going to be code, because when we send the data to Clerk, we need to verify the email account using a code that will be sent to the user's email. Okay, so this is going to help us with that. And the second thing is verify. Okay, so actually this is going to be false. So using this, we're going to trigger the verify form. Okay, the verify section of our form, and I'll show you what I mean, because when we submit the data to Clerk, we're going to set this to true. Another form ends up loading. That is going to be for submitting the verification code that gets sent to your email. And then this, we're going to use this to set the code, basically. Okay, so that's how this works. So now that we have those two, what we're going to do here is I'm going to start adding things to our form. Okay, so here what I'm going to do here is use a try catch block. Try catch. Okay, I'm going to keep this error for now. I'll change it later, but for now this is fine. So here what I'm going to do, oh, this needs to be async. Sync, make sure it is async, because we need to do an await for this. And sign up dot create. Okay, and then what we're gonna do here is just dot 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 and pass in the sign up fields. Okay, we're just gonna pass in our sign up fields, because the names, you have to make sure the names are the same. that you are using username, email address, and password. The reason for this is that these are predefined fields inside the create, okay? And you cannot change this, okay? These have to be the same name if you want a username, email address, and password. So if actually I just show you this, you'll see that we have all of these, and it has to be password, username, and email address, as you can see. And for the first name and last name, it's this, okay? So it has to be like this. Okay, so we're going to be submitting all of this data, right? So after we have submitted this data, what are we going to do next? Well, we need an await, await, and then the sign up dot prepare email verification, okay, email address verification. And then what we're going to do with this is tell it what strategy we want to use here, right? So if I add strategy here, right? So the strategy we're going to be using is email code, okay? Because we want to send a verification code to the email address that the user used for the sign up. And then we want to just go to the next step after this, which is after this is done, right? So set verify, okay? This is what I was talking about. So we're gonna set this to true, okay? So you need to set verify to true now, which will then, let's see here. Okay, so I have not set this up, but I'm just gonna do it quickly. So I'm just gonna use this, okay? And this is really simple, nothing complicated. So verify, okay? And in this, what I'm gonna do is take this, put this here, and in this, what I'm gonna do is do the same, but I just need the username here, okay? And here, I'm gonna say code. Let's name this code. Oh, I just realized a mistake actually in my input fields. I forgot to add the type. Okay, I'm just quickly gonna pause and do that. Okay, I'm back. So I just added the type to all of my fields, and here the username, I'm gonna change this to code, okay, and I'm gonna change this to arrow function. I'm gonna say set code to this value, okay? So when the value changes, it's gonna be this, okay? So I'm just gonna save this, and you can add validation to this. Again, this is a simple tutorial. I'm not gonna overcomplicate this, so that one is up to you. I'm just gonna keep things simple in this tutorial, okay? So let me just go over what's happening here. So when the form is submitted for the sign up, right, I'm gonna pass in all of the fields that I have, and these are the 3 fields, okay? After that, it will use this verification method, which is the email address verification, and I'm telling it to use the email code strategy. After that, I'm setting this to true. When this is set to true, what's going to happen is this form will be loaded, okay? And before that, this is the form that is loaded that will take in our username, email, and password, okay? And I'm gonna change actually this to submit, okay, so that we are telling it to submit all of this, and then sign up. Let's change this one to verify. The code one, I've just renamed that button, okay? So I don't want to use this on submit for the verification form. Okay, so handle verification. Okay, and I have not created this yet, so okay, so I'm gonna create this function. Copy this under this one. I'm gonna paste this function and paste this in default. So what do I do to then verify this, right? So to handle the verification, what we are going to do is again use a try catch block. Actually, I forgot one thing. Let me just add a console dot log to this. The reason is that we want to get the errors so that we then know what the error is. So JSON dot stringify, and I'm just gonna pass in the error, okay, so that we get the error in a string form. Actually, I'm just gonna get the error. So I'm just gonna copy paste this here. Okay, so back to the verification, right? So we have a try catch block. So to now verify, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create sign up attempt. We're gonna call this, okay, you can call it whatever you want. Okay, this is just to check sync, make sure this is in a synchronous function. Okay, so sign up dot attempt email address verification. This is the one we need to use. Okay, so what you're gonna do here is just pass in the code, and you can add like a check for the on-change input field for the code and check whether it is within 6 length, right? Like it doesn't exceed 6 numbers. So you can create a function for the code to check if the code value does not have a length of 6 characters or more. Also check whether it is a number or a string. Okay, that is also important as well. So you can do that. I'm leaving that one up to you, but you would do that and run that first before running this function, and then run the try catch block, right? So anyways, so after this, what you end up doing is using an if else. So if the sign up attempt, right, dot status, here we go, is equal to, and this is something that gets returned back to you. So if the status is complete, then remember that third function that we ended up getting from the useSignUp hook, that is set active. So what we're doing with this is we're going to use this to log in our user after they have signed up. So if the attempt was successful, right, we're going to do a session, because a session will be created here. Okay, so in the session, the things we're going to get back from this is, one is the status and the sign up attempt dot. If you look at this, we're getting a lot of these things. Okay, so the second thing that we can use is a create session ID. Okay, so what this does is, since the verification code is now verified, our status is complete, we can use this because this is holding the information of our user. So we're gonna use the sign up attempt to create a session ID that will log in our user. That is what is happening with this. So our user will then be logged in, and then after they have been logged in, what you can do is redirect them to the dashboard. Okay, and for that, actually, I will here const router is equal to use router. Okay, this is a Next.js book, and we can use this to redirect our user to different pages. Okay, and other things too, but mainly this is what we're going to use it for here. Here we go. After the user is active, what we're going to do here is router dot push. Okay, so slash dashboard. So I'm going to send the user to my dashboard, and I've already set things up. I've created a separate tutorial on that. You can go and watch that one. I'm not going to go over how I set everything up for the dashboard and all of that, because I've already done that in a separate tutorial. Okay, it should be in the playlist, in the Clerk Next.js playlist. Okay, so my user is now logged in using this, and I've confirmed their email address. Then I've set the user to be logged in using this, and then I'm just redirecting them to the dashboard, but the else is left. Okay, so what did you put in this? Well, you can just console log an error here. Okay, I'm just gonna copy and paste this in, and you can change this to error as well, or you can give a custom message to your users as well. There is a separate, I'll make a separate tutorial if you want on how to handle errors in Clerk, but that's a whole other video. Honestly, that is like a whole other video. So here, if there is some kind of error, right, like this isn't complete, the other options are abandoned or missing requirements. Okay, if either of these are what you are getting, then this is an else statement here, and what you want to just then do is get the sign up attempt. Okay, and just pass that as an error, and then you should actually look at the console log for this if you don't send something correctly, and then see that for yourself. I'll even show you actually. I'll see. So let's just save all of this, and here's hoping that everything works. Okay, so we have this right, and I'm gonna, yes, reloading everything. Starter was not mounted. I needed to go to the navigation, not the router, because that previous one was a server-side thing. Okay, this will fix it. Yeah. Okay, everything is loaded. Okay, let me just refresh just to be sure. So we have this. So let's send in a, I'm gonna use the things that I've used in previous tutorials. Okay, you saw me delete this, so I'm gonna do sign up, and now this is the code. Okay, and the code is going to be 424242. If you actually used an actual email, you will get a code there. This is just the test email and verification code that Clerk itself provides for testing purposes. If you use an actual email, you will get a code in that. So let me just verify this. Okay, I am logged in, as you can see. And here you can see demo user 2, and you don't see anything here because I need to refresh the page. Okay, as you can see, my user is signed up for Cleric now. So everything is working fine. Another thing I would like to add is that this part here, right? That you might want to not do this, okay? Because let me just show you that. Let me just sign out first. While that is happening, I'm gonna delete this user again. And okay, let me just go there. Here, what you can actually do is that for my animation, so I've created a change form type, okay? So I've created this, and here by default it is going to be sign up, okay? But I want to go to the login form, right? So that instead of signing up my user and redirecting them to the dashboard, I might not want to do this. I might want to do something else. So what I can do is just tell them to, okay, if I have verified my user, just trigger the login, okay? I'm gonna save this. I am going to refresh. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign up my user. Sign up. I actually need to change the value for this. The reason is that I think, let me just look at this again. The value, okay, so I'm gonna sign up my user again. This and sign up, and now you will see the value is empty, okay? So you can do 424242, and again add a validation for this. I'm just trying to keep things simple. So when I click verify, you will see that it's taken me to the login form now, because my email has been verified, okay, for my user. And when I refresh this now, you will see my user has signed up, okay? So now I could log in my user, but I have not set this up. I will create another tutorial for this because this tutorial has gotten really long. So I hope you like this tutorial. Like and subscribe to stay updated about the latest tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.